Day. It's been an incredibly long day. We started testimony right around 9 a.m. this morning, and of course we're just now ending at 6:30. So sounds like, based on what we're hearing, that we're also in for another long day of testimony, with the judge just saying that she wants the jury there at 8 o'clock in the morning. That's really early. But let's kind of walk through today. A lot of important testimony. You know, we saw surveillance video that showed that Lou Harris and Billy Chemirmir were in the same Walmart at Coit and, I want to say Arapahoe, but I might be wrong on that. But they're in the same Walmart, same time, and they're leaving within a minute of each other. So it's really important evidence. It tightens that timeline and places them in the same location. And of course, you know, her body is going to be found right around 5:50 p.m. And then we also, for several hours, listened to police interrogations of Billy Chemirmir. You know, he was admitting that he was at this apartment complex where Lou Harris lived in the days preceding it. Didn't have a really good explanation for why he was there. He said that he was looking for work, like to take care of people, but yet he admittedly didn't talk to anybody about that. He acknowledged that the man that we now know as Richard Plink, who was the neighbor's son, did approach him and asked him, you know, if he could help him. He claimed that the reason that he had Lou Harris's jewelry box and other items was that a man had sold it to him, but he didn't know who that man was. And then we also heard testimony from a man who bought a ring belonging to, let me double check here, Mary Bartell's ring, that this man had bought this ring for $380. There was actually a picture that they showed that they pulled off his phone that showed, I guess presumably his finger, with the ring on his finger, and it was what was put on this OfferUp ad offering this ring for sale. Mary Bartell obviously was able to identify this ring, and I'm guessing presumably police actually recovered the ring. I don't know that I ever caught that or not, but they had one of the people that testified today was the man that bought that ring. Sounded like he ran some kind of jewelry business. And then of course we've ended the day with testimony about Mary Brooks. Mary Brooks is a case, a woman, 88-year-old woman, also sounds just like our other victims. Sounds like, you know, someone who's really full of life, you know, getting around good, able to, you know, do for herself, living by herself. And it was interesting listening to her grandson describe that, you know, you didn't just show up at Mary Brooks's house, you better call ahead of time. So he wasn't real thrilled on the night of January 31st, when March of 2018, when his mom calls him and says, hey, you know, I need you to go check on your grandma. And when he gets over there, he finds her deceased. But when he gets there, he notices a couple of things that don't seem right. The gate is either open or unlocked. I forget which one it was, but there was something about the gate that bothered him. The light was on in her office. He thought that was really odd, and of course he goes in and he finds her deceased. And she didn't put her groceries away. She had gone. We were going to find out. We found out during testimony she had gone to that same Walmart that a few months later Lou Harris is going to be seen at. That she had gone to this Walmart on January 30th, but hadn't put her groceries up. Right, and so of course the next day her body is found, and over the course of it sounds like the next day or so, her family is going to discover that there's a safe missing. Her wedding ring that she always wore on her finger is missing. Her mother's wedding ring is missing, and the family was able, as we heard in testimony from her daughter, was able to provide appraisals for those items. And we heard the prosecutors saying that they're going to be able to show evidence that Billy Chemirmir sold some of that jewelry either on the same day that Mary Brooks was found dead or soon thereafter. You know, I just want to say, you know, when I hear the Mary Brooks case, it's hard for me to understand why she was not autopsied and that case was not investigated further. I mean, really, you have her jewelry is missing, a safe is missing. Why was more not done with that case in January of 2018? That to me is a wake-up call. And I know I'm a little punchy right now because it's been a long day, but to me, that case needed more investigation. And I say that as somebody who's been a police reporter for a very long time. There were all the hallmarks that something had happened to this woman, something really, really wrong. And that to me is really problematic, and I think that maybe police need to take another look at their procedures. Now, good on the Richardson police detective who heard about Billy Chemirmir's arrest and said, you know, hey, we need to go back and look at this case. Great, but we'll never know what would have happened if in some of these cases, like Mary Brooks, where jewelry is found missing, if there had been more investigation. We'll just never know. So tomorrow, you know, prosecutors, I thought they were going to rest today, but obviously I was wrong. It sounds like we're going to get, you know, like I said, more evidence about Mary Brooks's jewelry. I do think the prosecution will rest tomorrow. It's hard for me to imagine like kind of what else they will do. It remains to be seen whether or not the defense will put on their own case. You know, are they going to put on a medical expert? You know, what are they going to do? Because really so far right now we haven't heard a whole lot from them. Okay guys, well I'm going to wrap it up, and we will see you tomorrow for day 4 of the Billy Chemirmir trial.